Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the third episode of Backseat Friends. I know a lot of you are going to be impressed that this is a series on my channel that's actually managed to last more than one episode, but we are back again. This week we are joined by our resident fact checker, Ruffy, the self-described Marxist, the Red Celt, Ryan, and
Yeah.
our Tumblr consultant, Wakey.
What up?
So this week we are being protected by the Liberator. That's how we're protecting the privacy of the people in our Discord this week. So what we've had a moose, an AR-15, and now a pistol that's been 3D printed.
Yeah, we've got to keep it consistent.
I mean, yeah, should we just have guns every week then? Is that what it's going to be now? But the reason we have a Liberator as the privacy protector is because we want to talk about defense distributed first of all, and their enabling of ghost guns. I just kind of wanted to get your guys' opinion on ghost guns, and I'm going to have to mute my phone because otherwise I'm going to get 1,000 notifications. So what do you guys know about ghost guns in general? Not necessarily defense distributed, but ghost guns.
I mean, I've heard the concept of like 3D printed weaponry thrown around for a while now, but nothing specific really.
Okay, so ghost guns refers to any gun that is untraceable. So it doesn't have like a serial number, it doesn't have an identified barrel. It's just 3D printed guns have made it a bit more accessible.
Yeah.
But no, it is perfectly legal in the US to own a gun that you have made, provided you do not intend to sell it or give it away. You got to be a gun that you've used. Like, you may have seen videos on YouTube where people like make their own pistols out of like half bits of wood and an old flag. You alright there, Ryan?
Yeah, everything okay?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Is your mouse died again?
The mic being weird again.
A bit. So yeah, it's been perfectly legal for basically ever in the US, as far as I'm aware. I'm not known of any laws that's put any kind of limitations. I'm probably wrong, so please correct me, anyone, if that's the case. But essentially, the idea of a 3D printed gun is, originally I think it was supposed to just be like a proof of concept, wasn't it? Like, Defense Distributed came up with the Liberator, which is the pistol you can see on screen now. It's that one shot, and then the gun's dead. Useless.
Yeah.
As just a proof of concept that, oh look, this is something that 3D printing can do. And like, at the time, I was excited. I was like, oh my god.
It's a showing of how sort of detailed and in-depth they can get with...
Yeah, exactly. So, because my logic was, if they could do this for guns, you could do this for organs. Which we've shown is possible. You can 3D print parts of an artificial heart with a 3D printer.
Oh yeah, as it becomes more available, like there's massive reaches for what 3D printing can do.
But originally there was no real issue because it was a case of you shot once and then the gun was dead. Like, it was a safety concern for people who were actually using the gun, but that was about it.
Yeah.
The thing is, we've kind of been good in chemistry, right? And we've got this thing called like better plastics over the years. So now it's no longer just one shot, gun dead. These are fully functional guns that are 3D printable. So Defense Distributed is leading the market with 3D printable guns. They are a non-profit organisation who open source all of their schematics online. If you want to get this, you can just download it. Yeah? If you had 3D printing and the means to do it. Now, I kind of like the idea of an open sourced company in general like this, but I don't like what they're selling. Or selling, if you get what I mean. It's not just like 3D printed schematics that they give away, it's also parts of a gun. So like the ability to make untraceable guns. So, originally this was made illegal, so you couldn't 3D print a gun. I think the bounds for it were, it was a safety concern and also untraceable guns, like mass-produced untraceable guns. But due to a precedent that was set in, I think it was Californian law, maybe a couple of decades before, they found that code was uncopyright. Sorry, not copyright. It was part of free speech, which is good news for you games developers. Because it means
Yeah.
you can code what the hell you want in your games, and it's deemed as free speech. Which, kudos to America. That's pretty advanced for them, all things considered. But yeah. So, what do you think the solution here is? Because obviously we can't just let people be able to 3D print guns, right? And also 3D print like the lower portions of assault rifles and stuff like that, which make things that should be traceable completely untraceable. Because I don't know if like the world knows, but the only thing that you actually need to have like registered for an assault rifle is the lower, which is basically like the undercarriage with the magazine, so, like the whole of the magazine. It's like just the undercarriage bit. So the upper is where all your workings and mechanisms are, your pin and whatnot. None of that needs to be registered. It's only the lower that needs to be registered.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's sort of a continuation of a problem that's been with gun control debate, really, of how exactly do you go about regulating stuff like this.
So it's worth noting that some lawmakers in California have thrown around the idea of making people have to regulate their guns. So if they want to 3D print a gun, that's fine, let them. But make them tell the police before and after so they can get like a registration code for the gun.
Yeah.
And then like send them pictures of them correctly placing on the registration code on the gun.
Yeah, you'd have to sort of work around it like that, wouldn't you? Because there's no way to directly do as they do with normal guns now. Since obviously with the schematics for the gun being available, they could be changed to avoid serial numbers and all that confusion.
But exactly, that's just it. It's enforcing it.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult to enforce this law. But essentially, as plastics improve, the ability for everyday Joes to have ghost guns also improves. Like, was it 3D printer on the market right now is about £3,000? Like this gun, it's worth noting, would be completely illegal under British law because it would be classified as a pistol. But the government wouldn't know I've got it. Is the problem.
Yeah.
There's also no legal basis in the UK for. From what I know, there's no like groundworks for making your own guns in the UK because it's not really something we do.
Yeah.
So, do you think this is something that maybe the world has to get on top of? Like, is 3D printing weaponry going to be a thing?
I think the more available and the more, I guess, the cheaper 3D printing technology becomes, the more it's going to be a problem, I think.
But also, if this is the case and like it gets better technology and whatnot, do you think it might be more worthwhile for a military just to ship with all the plastic needed to make their entire arsenal? As opposed to...
I think there will be a point, I expect, where how much it costs to 3D print materials like this is going to be significantly cheaper than the alternative and lack enough significant downsides that they likely will start switching over.
And if that's the case, every country on Earth needs to get behind this and be like, yo, we need to make sure... Because this is readily available to civilians. Like, if it's available to the military, it's going to be available to civilians. Like, yeah. So there needs to be some legal groundwork, and I think it needs to be now that this needs to happen.
Yeah, the sooner there's some sort of a precedent for it, just the better, because it'll help.
Like, I would have to check this. It might currently be illegal to make your own weapons in this way. It probably is in the UK, but I don't know. This gun would be illegal because it's calibered in pistol, and let's be honest, no one's going to argue that looks like a pistol.
Yeah.
You're going to have a hard day in court proving that it's not a pistol. So yeah, this would be illegal under UK law, but is making your own gun.
You have to technically be registered to be able to make guns in the UK.
Right, so you need like a gun line maker's license type thing.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay. Do you think this is something that America could implement?
Oh, definitely, but I think one of the issues is it's very hard to regulate both who owns a 3D printer, since it would be a very hard sell to try and regulate the entire concept of a 3D
Oh, I
printer
don't
on the
know.
basis of making weaponry.
I don't know. I think that could be a
And
better idea than regulating the
yeah,
guns.
it might be one of the better ideas they could do, but they'd have a hard time getting people to agree with the idea. I feel
Yeah, true, but I think
since it's got all these other
America
That's
is
the
so
issue.
pro-gun. I think that might be the better
Yeah.
solution to this problem. I mean, I don't think anyone should have to register for a 3D
I mean,
printer.
part of the issue comes from it's going to be very, very hard to regulate what people use a 3D printer for once they've got it.
Yeah, like I've got a friend.
Like, because either you're going into dangerous levels of privacy invasion, or you've got no way to verify what they're using a 3D printer for at any time.
It's like I've got a friend whose dad just uses it to make like cosplay items and stuff.
Yeah, like so many non-harmful use of it. It's
And essentially, what you
awkward
do is
sort
you
of
just rig it.
situation,
You just rig it up to Blender, don't you? And just say print 3D object boy. That's about it.
Yeah.
It's so easy to do. I mean, I'm probably massively oversimplifying, but I think the idea is basically you get a 3D image file, wing it into like their software, and just print from there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if it's anything like similar things I've used, then yeah.
And if that's the case, every software there is open source. It's open source and free.
Yeah.
But where do we think is going to be the limit to this? What do we think is going to be the point where? Because obviously there are certain things you can't make out of plastic for safety reasons. Like, it's not a great idea to have a firing pin made out of plastic just because of how thin it needs to be.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine, like, while there are still restrictions on how much of it you can make with just a 3D printer, like, potentially there's heavier restrictions on the gun parts that need to be bought separately.
So the way I see it is, we've got a couple of
And
solutions to this.
Tracking on
To
that.
like make sure people are registering these guns, all of which are massively like privacy invading. The first solution is to go round everybody's houses, like Jehovah's Witness style, and just go, have you heard of this new thing called a 3D printed gun? Do you have one? We'd like to talk to you a moment about your 3D
That's
printed
not
gun.
gonna work.
No, that's not going to work because it doesn't work for like Jehovah's
no.
Witnesses. Like, so that's out the window. The next option is you just stick a shitload of spyware on everyone's computer and just be like, well, they've just downloaded that. Which, let's be honest, the NSA probably already has. And hi, hello, government, how's it going?
Yeah, shout out to the government agent, listen to this conversation.
You are doing a tremendous job because I think at this point I would have turned off. We are almighty boring people. But yeah, that's the thing. That's probably a thing they're already implementing. It's just they'd have to be like, "Yo, guys, we're spying on you," and I don't think the public's gonna be okay with that.
Yep.
Like as a I wouldn't even say as a nation. I'd say as a planet, we're a massively paranoid bunch of people. Aren't we? Like,
yeah, I can't disagree with that one.
The moment we start saying, "Oh my God, the government's spying on us," we're gonna be like, "Well, nah, I don't want that. I want to have some privacy." Yeah. But yeah, so that's another option, and then the third option could just be, I don't know, make it a little bit more. Lose the whole guns are dangerous aspect and get people to want to tell you. So give some incentive for telling them. Like, I don't know, maybe a free round of ammo or something, like free mags of ammo. Like that could be a legitimately cheap way of getting people to come to you and tell them. Like at the end of the day, police services are gonna have excess amounts of ammunition, aren't they? Especially in America with like the militarized police being a thing. So why not do that? That could be a really good way of getting people in.
I mean, I think the one thing is that no matter what sort of solution we can find to it, there's not really going to be any way to stop the increase in availability of guns that it'll bring. The best we can do is try and make it so we're at least as able to track them down as we are now with regular guns.
Exactly. I'd quite like to be in a situation where if Jimmy shoots Johnny, we know where Jimmy is. Which currently with these ghost guns is basically impossible. Right?
Yeah.
You can track their internet history, but then it becomes a fruit of the forbidden tree, like legal case. Like you can't get a warrant based on what you've seen on someone's internet history, unless you have a warrant to see the internet history. which you won't get a warrant to see the internet history unless, yeah.
And even then, like the majority of solutions that would feasibly work without causing massive backlash would rely a lot on voluntary declaration anyway.
Yeah.
Which means that, keeping it hidden from the government is as simple as just not telling them.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see where it goes.
Yeah, it's not a thing that has really an easy answer, I don't think.
Cause I was the type of person who was like, at the start of this conversation, with Adam saying you need a munitions license or whatever to make guns in the UK, like please loosen them restrictions. Like, I want to see some wacky inventions made by people in the back shed. But like, the more we think about it, the more these guns are going to become more prevalent, the more dangerous the idea becomes.
Yeah, it's really kind of a shame because it's an amazing technology that just has such massive potential for.
But I think the worst thing we can do is nothing.
Yeah,
like, I'm not
definitely something decided on eventually.
I'm undecided as to whether to stick defense distributed in the corner of of degenerates, because I don't know whether they're doing something wrong or if they're just proving a point. So I'm going to leave it to you guys. Do we stick them in the corner of degenerates? Let's just get their image up now.
Go on, I say make them degenerate.
Make them degenerate. Oh, we've got a major kind of problem.
Oh.
It's going to have to go down there, because I went and got the color to alpha version of their logo, which is the only one available on Wikipedia. Sorry. You know how the Liberator's background alpha is black? You know how their logo is black?
No.
So they're in the above my name tag corner of degenerates. Oh God almighty! If someone can just download me a sheet of white paper, like a sheet of white, that'd be nice.
Your 3D print one, yeah?
Oh yeah, totally. So should we move on to the next topic? I feel like I've actually kind of missed out on something. I think I put something in the news thingy and didn't like stick it in the agenda, and I really want to talk about it if I did. No, I didn't. Oh, no, I did. So France has ban on phones in school.
Oh, right, that's gonna work.
No, it's actually finable. Like it's illegal. Like, it's a crime to have a phone in school now in France.
Yeah, well, like, that's gonna be enforced.
No, it is. It already is enforced. That's the thing.
No, because I was looking it up. It starts in September, but there's already people saying that it's just not going to really be able to be enforced.
You think?
Oh, yeah, I mean, you take a lot of laws like that. Like, who's going to be there to really enforce it?
Teachers?
But are teachers really going to call the police on
they have enough stuff to deal with.
Oh, come on, Ryan. Are you
Worry
telling
about
me at your school there wouldn't be a teacher who'd call the cops on, like, a misbehaving kid?
Well, I mean, even
I don't know where you went to school, mate, but
I'd probably only be a handful that'd call the cops on someone for their phone, and even then, will the cops even bother responding especially if there's other things going on?
Alright, okay, so I think France is probably the same as England when it comes to they have like an on-site police officer anyway. So this could be like a legitimately really easy way of them making some money back. This could be
I do know a teacher who had students at the desk on fire, and they didn't call the police.
Wow. But no, so it was already illegal in France, but there were exceptions for like teaching applications and stuff. Now they've just outlawed them in general. I think the law reads I think it's like any minor call with a phone or something. It's something like very specific, like that protects teachers from having phones or something. But it's like, at the end of the day, you have a phone in England, right? And you're at school. You don't have your phone in England. You don't have it in school until something happens at school where you have to go home, and the school, by law, has to either ring your parents or get you to ring your parents to pass over responsibility. France is the same. So I think this could actually harm safety in schools.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, especially I
Look
know a
it
lot
up.
of.
Apparently they're allowed.
Sorry,
Go on.
Ryan. Go on.
Oh, are they you've looked at the details then? Is it just they can't have them at all on their person in a school, or?
Oh, they can bring it in, they can place it in
Yeah.
a phones in
No,
a locker in their
It's
life.
just got to be off during school hours.
Yeah, they're allowed to have it on them, so long as it's not being used.
It's got to be off as well, I think the law states.
Maybe.
Wow, that is.
It's,
I'll be honest here. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 3 people are just gonna completely ignore that law aside from being slightly sneaky about where they have the phone on.
So let's just move France to the corner of degenerates. I'm sorry, France. I feel like this is a mahoosive waste of a law. This is a mahoosive waste of taxpayer money. For,
I mean, France
time.
already has a ban on smartphones during teaching activity anyway.
Unless it's for teaching activity.
No, according to an article, they've already banned in 2010. They banned using smartphones during teaching activities anyway.
Oh, right, okay.
Students. So it's
It's just a continuation of that law, then, isn't it?
yeah, it's a bit redundant almost.
Okay, I'm going to be interested to see where this goes then, if nothing else.
Okay, so it's
Yeah,
so quite simply, the use of a mobile telephone by people is forbidden in elementary schools, primary schools, and secondary schools, with the exception of certain places or certain conditions that are authorized by internal rules.
So theoretically, you could have like a phone-free zone, like you have like a smoking area. Like, because we already have that in the lab, like in the chemistry lab, like where at the university we already have like a section, like away from any dangerous shit, where you can look things up on like laptops and stuff, just to keep everything away from, like, so you're not contaminating like laptops and your phones with dangerous chemicals, which I think is a very good idea. Because I'm very much pro safety, and I don't think phones should really be in the lab.
Yeah, I think the last thing you guys need is more distractions.
Don't get me wrong, there are legitimate reasons to have your phone in a lab. Like, you might want to take a picture of your chemicals or something for a report. Like, but then there are safe ways of doing that, and even still, you really shouldn't do that. I'm a total safety expert here, boys, aren't I? But I don't know. I feel like. So.
Is my mic playing up again?
Yeah, a little bit. It's probably mine as well. So I feel like this law could have interesting ramifications. It could also do absolutely nothing.
So I really doubt we're going to see anyone actually get charged on this.
You think?
I think there might be a few cases
I
when
think
it's
there's
first
gonna- yeah,
mentioned,
I'm-
again. Then after that, they'll just stop.
Yeah, I'm with Adamir. I think they're going to do it just to recoup some of the costs for actually putting this law into action. Because MPs,
Then afterwards, they just won't care.
like MPs, aren't free. You have to pay for their time.
I feel like every school is going to have that one teacher that everyone kind of thinks is a bit of a dick, who
Well,
like actually cares about this,
It's worth
and then
noting
no one else does.
that if it is a law, a teacher can't enforce it. But they could theoretically call for like an on-site police officer to. If France actually have an on-site police officer, I don't know. But I would imagine
I'll be
it's
honest.
a thing.
This conversation is the first time I've heard the phrase "on-site police officer" in regards to a school.
Did you not have an on-site police officer at your school?
Not that I was aware of. No.
We had anywhere
No, we
between
didn't.
1 and 2. Then again, like
No, I know I didn't.
my
This
first
might just be a regional difference.
my first day of school, like someone got busted with a knife, so like trying to sell a knife on school grounds. So I kind
Yeah,
of,
I know.
I kind of feel like
Knife.
I tried to sell a knife underneath the CCTV camera.
So smart.
Shit, fam. I think the worst my high school had was people ordering Dominoes to get delivered to just outside the gates.
Oh no, we did that.
Yeah,
We did that
fucking
when we
knife
were in
crime.
class. Like,
No, we had people deliver to the school, and
Yeah,
school
oh.
didn't pick it up.
so like when we were doing like
Yeah.
after school provision, we just have a Domino's delivered to the school. Like it was typically paid by
Yeah.
one of the
I
departments.
mean,
at school.
seeing the deputy head chase after some blokes running past with a bunch of pizza is, pretty funny.
See,
But
you couldn't do that at our
about
school
the
because of the
worst
way
we
security
got.
was like set up. So you had to be swiped in. So we had to do it like, when you like did after school revision classes like before exams. Our teachers were proper
Yeah.
nice, so they're like, alright, you come to the revision class, we'll go around the dominoes in, we'll crack off some revision sessions, and we'll get you all them passing marks, yeah? Which I think most schools like should have some kind of thing. Maybe not dominoes, but
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
some kind of takeaway idea, yeah?
Yeah, certainly acts as an incentive.
So
for
that was the
people.
only time we could really have it, because you had to swipe everyone in, and there was 3 gates, I think. Remember, only in each
Oh,
one you
wow.
had to have a swipe in.
I'm pretty sure my high school's done up their security now, or like you could have just fucking walked out the service gate at any time during the day, pretty much.
I think the only people who had access to the service gate at our school were like cleaning staff and teachers.
No, we had like it was pretty much open all
Which
the
was
time. 'cause
really
it's the
annoying
back
because
car park,
which was really
so
annoying because
you
the
just go.
service gate was right next to a bus stop,
Ah,
which went to like one of the major population centres where like kids came from.
Ours didn't have very much security on one side because it was right next to a cemetery.
yeah, no, we had the gate to the car park we had the gate to the car park just open at all times, but I suppose that's from being a slightly less suburban area, built-up area. I suppose it's less security concern. More lax with
It's
it.
weird. Like you're meant to feel safe at school, aren't you? Right? But the like massive walls and gates and whatnot make you feel any more secure, or would that make you feel any more secure? Because to me, it just stresses me out because it makes me think, oh my god, why do they need these? It makes me a bit more on edge.
Yeah, I can certainly see that.
Like, I'm not saying to the school, I'm not saying to the school get rid of them gates, because I'm pretty sure there's a legitimate reason you've got them, right?
Oh yeah, no, they need to be there as like just in case.
But
Really.
it's that legitimate reason that scares me. But no, like, this France, you're a weird country. I don't know why you needed to waste MPs' times putting this in law when.
Because didn't Macron promise it as like part of his campaign or
Oh
something?
my god! So you're telling me when a prime minister or president or whatever he is he the premier or the prime minister?
I don't know.
Macron.
Yeah, he's premier.
Macron's the president.
Is he the president? Yes, it's premier. Because they have a really weird party system, don't they? They have like prime ministers and presidents.
Yeah, but the prime minister is appointed by the president.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that's interesting. Yeah, you have a
The
really
prime
weird
minister
electoral
is
system.
the appointed head of the president's government.
See, this is why we have someone who's doing political science in the chat.
Yeah.
Hey.
But yeah, so I don't know. It's interesting. It's gonna do nothing. It's a waste of MP's time.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to put it in though. He's got to try and pretend that people voted for his policies and not because the only other option was far right.
No, let's not say they're far right because they weren't. Her dad was far right. I think she genuinely was trying to clean up the party.
Close enough.
I actually think she was trying because she expelled her dad from the party, didn't she?
I don't know. I've looked over because I'm guessing you're about Le Pen.
Yeah, Marine Le
Yeah,
Pen.
that's the name.
Looking over just some of her things.
Yeah,
She's not exactly much different from her father.
isn't she?
Not hugely. Not in what matters.
Wasn't it her father that was like advocating for genocide though?
I don't know if they actually advocate for genocide, but it wouldn't surprise me though.
But yeah, no, he was like legitimately far right. But I think she's more central right, to be honest. It's weird. I think she's trying to clean up the party. Well, even if she personally believes in something, that doesn't necessarily mean her party believes in it.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, it's still a National Front party.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we shouldn't dismiss them as being like a less than legitimate organisation just because they had a leader who was far right. At the end of the day, if they're duly elected, they're duly elected. We can not like the fact that they're duly elected. We can complain at the fact. We can protest the fact that they're duly elected. Which,
Yep.
by the way, if you don't know, they're not duly elected. It was the other people. It was Macron's people who won. But it wasn't by much, was it? Like, he only just got like a narrow
it
victory.
was fairly close.
Yeah. But no, like,
Mm.
you can. I think that's the problem. Like, I'm seeing a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, how dare they elect this person?" It's like, in general, like not necessarily just in
Yeah.
America, but like in general, like we got it a lot in the UK with Brexit and stuff. Like, oh my god, how dare you? It's like, I'm very much in the favour that if the public gets what the public wants. If they vote for something, they vote for it. You can protest this idea. That's fine.
Yeah.
But don't spend all your waking days bitching and moaning about it.
I mean, I think the thing that a lot of people tend to have issue when it comes to like, for example, stuff like Brexit. I know a lot of the complaints regarding like how that vote went were down to the quite frankly ridiculous amount of misinformation coming from pretty much all sides of the debate.
Oh, come on. If you haven't heard a
Throughout
lie
it.
on a bus, have you really been on a bus?
Yeah, I know, but a lot of people were complaining like 'cause they felt like the sheer amount of it affected like the lack of unbiased information from anywhere kind of affected the outcome of that.
Yeah, but equally, name me an election that was unbiased.
Yeah, give you that.
So to me, it's just same old British values. If if you're not lying about
Oh,
something
yeah.
to get elected,
Good
are you
old
really,
British.
Are you really trying to get elected? But no, like you see it with Trump with America as well. Like, he was elected, guys. Like, you can be upset that he was elected, but don't spend your waking days going, "He's not my president."
I don't want to be the one to point out, didn't he like lose popular vote and then win on college or something?
Not by much. Like, it was
Not by much, no.
and
Not
that's
that much,
kind of the
but-
point.
Well, the thing is, he won Florida. That's all that matters in America.
So the American electoral system is a bit weird anyway. Like,
Yeah,
What
well, basically,
what
like,
electoral system isn't a bit fucked?
no, like America's in particular. Like,
you know,
Britain-
America's
Oh,
Only
like, who
20%,
does Florida want in? That is literally it at
yeah,
the
pretty much.
moment.
only 20% of the popular vote in America can build enough seats to be
Yeah.
president.
So in Britain, it somewhat makes sense. So like, you vote for your MPs build up a parliament. That parliament, whoever's got the most seats, win, right?
But it's still shit. in
It's still
democracy.
shit
Yeah.
because it doesn't necessarily represent the people. It represents ideas.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, you don't vote for your MP, you vote for the party.
And
So
then
there's a
America's
back-
thing weights. The electoral college is like weighted towards certain states or some
Yeah.
shit, isn't it?
But it's
But you
like,
vote
I'm
for
saying,
each-
if we bring it
vote
back
for the vote for the president for you.
if we bring it back to Britain a minute, like we've got the case of like the Conservatives had like a hold on Lincoln, just like before the last election, moved to was it Karen Lee of the Labour Party, but they had a ridiculously racist, like xenophobic, homophobic. Like, I mean, I'm not just throwing these words around. He like, you can check his voting records. He really was like
Oh
all
god,
these
it was
things.
awful.
But that's not what the Conservative Party represents. So you didn't vote for him.
Well,
They don't, Ryan. They really
I'm
don't.
joking.
Yeah, come on, man. You know, don't be so rude. UKIP exists for a reason.
Just to let you know, Ryan, like more Conservative MPs voted for gay rights than Labour MPs. I mean, just because we had more, not the point. But
Oh, yeah. We're talking about this for a bit. Like, let's face it, half of Labour's voters aren't voting for Labour. They're voting for the vague idea of someone left wing in charge of a party.
I mean, left in this country is anywhere left of centre. So
I mean, is that not the definition of left?
no, I mean like,
Left of centre.
I mean like funny. I mean like the Conservatives are very much. They're not a socialist party, but they're also not like a conservative
like-
economic party. If you look
Yeah,
at their
they're like
policies.
right-leaning centre at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas I think Labour at this point are very authoritarian left, and I don't like that. Not necessarily far left, but you get my point. But yeah, so we've got like I forgot what his name was. What was his name? That old guy from Lincoln.
Don't ask me, I wasn't there at the
You,
time.
you guys know who I mean anyway. So like his views didn't represent the party, but he still got elected in. Not because people liked his views, but because they liked the views of like at the time it was Cameron's government, wasn't it? Like the views of Cameron's government. God only knows why, but they like the views of Cameron's government.
Carl McCartney, by the way.
There we go, Carl McCartney. Like, you can check up his voting history. We aren't like being libellous. He genuinely was like, he voted against gay rights. He voted against the right for abortions. He voted against everything that you would think, like, even remotely associated with being liberal. He voted against. Like, he to be fair, for all I know, that could represent Lincoln. But considering there's a university there, I don't think it does.
Hmm.
And I think that's kind of why Karen Lee got into power this time. But in fairness, whatever that guy's name was again, I'm terrible with names. He did listen. Like, he did respond to people's emails. If you emailed him, like, him being your MP, he would respond to them. Whether he'd actually do what you asked is another matter. But so that's what I mean by you don't vote for the MP, you vote for the idea of the party. You have a lot of MPs that aren't what the party represents. Like, I think Corbyn is a great example of that. Like, before he was like the leader of the opposition. Corbyn's views very much weren't what Labour was. Don't get me wrong, like, the guy was a brilliant MP. He listens to his constituency. He reports back on everything, and he does genuinely stand up for what he thinks is right. I just don't personally like him. And I think that's another problem with the world. A lot of people kind of forget that you can respect someone without liking them.
Yeah.
It's weird. I think that politics in the world is very weird. People are spending an awful lot of time hating when they could be spending an awful lot of time working. The irony of this, of course, coming from an unemployed bloke. But I think you get my point. Anything more you want to add on this, guys? I think we're still on France, aren't we here?
Yeah, that was sort of an extension of the whole French topic.
So should we move on to something a little bit more British that Ryan's probably going to get his blood boiling over? How are you feeling about this one, Ryan? I want your opinion here. Tommy Robinson being freed on bail.
If he's on bail, then
it's good to see
the
him
case will
free.
still be going.
He's on bail awaiting trial at the Old Bailey.
Yeah, which means I'm guessing he appealed. Wait, hang on, no, because he pleaded guilty.
Yeah, he pleaded guilty. His lawyer then.
And said, basically tried to say that he didn't know that.
To be fair,
this is the previous thing that it was.
So for those of you who don't know, because obviously this is a very, very new thing we're doing, so we haven't ever talked about him before, but essentially...
Yeah, he's that bloke from Time Team, isn't he?
Funny. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Tommy Robinson was the former leader of the EDL, but left because he quote, couldn't keep the right-wing extremism out, or something like that. I think that was the quote he gave. Which, to be fair, he's not wrong. He really couldn't keep the right-wing extremism out.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, the EDL are known for many attacks on foreign migrants to this country. Feel free to Google them in your own time and be horrifically disturbed by the news stories. Well,
I mean, they have their own pedo ring.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is funny, because one of the big things that especially Tommy Robinson likes to go on about is how they're anti-pedo.
Okay, so in fairness, in Tommy Robinson's, to play devil's advocate here, he is no longer with the EDL. He has said on record numerous times he doesn't support them in any way. So I am going to I'm going to play I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to think that he doesn't believe anything the EDL stand for, because to be honest, he's not really given very much evidence to support that outside of kind of supporting what they say, if that makes sense. I think he occasionally likes tweets from former members and stuff like that, but that's about it. And that might not even be true, to be honest, but I just seem to remember. No, that was Trump, wasn't it? Trump liked one from a former member of the EDL.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, Trump retweeted Jada Franson as Britain first.
Oh, is it Britain first?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so for all intents and purposes, Tommy Robinson is no longer part of the EDL, has no association or affiliation with them. So we're going to judge him on who he is right now. So who he is right now is a reporter for, is it Rebel Media? Who are a right-wing news outlet who twist the truth almost as much as Fox. And they have very, very strong views on certain things as well. But his reporting style is very different. Ryan, you're right. You've got a lot of scratching going on. Ryan?
Oh.
Is it actually coming through the mic then?
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, whatever that was. Yes.
So he is a reporter for Rebel Media, though again, we don't know whether he is in favour of Rebel Media or if they just sign his paychecks. He is a very, very frequent user of GoFundMe for legal counsel. In fact, I follow him on Facebook. You guys probably know this, because I follow basically everyone on Facebook, politically, just to keep in touch. And it's the only thing they ever share. It's either free Tommy or please support insert person's name here for insert criminal case here. And it's always the same cookie approach. Weirdly, they most of the time actually get the funding they need, which kind of worries me a little bit.
It's because he's just got that many supporters that they're just,
Or he has that many supporters who are rich.
Yeah.
Just according to Tommy's website, he's fully independent.
He's a what, sorry?
He's fully independent, no boss.
Yeah.
No
Oh, okay.
behind the scenes.
Yeah, fair enough then. So he's a fully independent person. So he's a right-wing news outlet, if that's the case then. Yeah, I think that's fair to say, would you guys? Who is very, very openly anti-Muslim and very, very openly anti-immigration. The most famous video I think most people would have been introduced to Tommy Robinson would have been when was it after the first London Bridge attack, where he stood outside Parliament ranting and raving about how we should get back control of our borders and whatnot.
Yeah, I think it was in that to be emergency click across the Parliament and shout at people.
Give the guy credit.
And harass some Muslims because that's Tommy Robinson.
Give the guy credit. He can shout for England.
That's true British values right there, being able to shout about someone.
Whether he says anything of substance, I will leave to you your interpretation of him. But what I more really wanted to talk about was the reason he was in prison in the first place. And before all you right-wing people go, oh my god, he was in prison because the police have it in for him. No, he actually was found in contempt of court. My question today is, should he have been found in contempt of court?
This was a while back, but wasn't he
he was
filming?
So he was filming outside. He was filming outside of a courtroom which had a media mute on. My question to you is, should we have media mutes? Should media be
all court cases have media mute.
Should they though?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, because
there's very sound reasoning for this, and it's the simple fact of you want a jury
to be
to make decisions based on the evidence presented in court.
I agree.
If the jury is getting influenced by outside, non-evident, that could or could not be.
But equally, to talk about a case that we're going to be talking about in a bit, the ISIS teen that was jailed, I think it was earlier this week for plotting against the government. That was reported on before her trial was concluded. So obviously something slipped through the cracks.
Specific things, yeah.
And
I think it's a case of how you can report on them.
It also was for this specific case. It was actually over three different court cases.
Okay.
Yeah, hadn't he been warned before about it as well?
Yeah,
oh yeah, no, he has been. My argument is not with whether Tommy was doing the right thing or not. Let's just be clear. He's just a step up to us. Tommy was found guilty of an actual crime that he had actually committed. He was guilty of a crime. My question is, should the crime be a thing? Or do you think that media outlets should just be able to report? Because my solution to this is I think they should be allowed to report on crime, but I think they should have to be very, very, very impartial. So like list no names, just say what happened, like everything factual that they know.
Well, I think that is what the current law is, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
they just
Reporting on
are
a
they
case,
just
you know.
incapable of not twisting the truth? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they hold to very strict standards when it comes to ongoing court cases.
Okay, yeah. So basically, what we've learned today is the UK media outlets have no journalistic integrity. But essentially, I think they should be able to report on it. I don't think there should be anything like near like a media block, because the public should know. If nothing more, just to have something else to read. But
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, obviously,
like, I get the reason it's
if you're
illegal.
reporting, you know, you're treating someone as being guilty, which is especially what he was doing there.
I agree.
You're going against one of the core fundamental values of British and most Western law of innocent until proven
That's
guilty.
not what I'm saying. I'm saying they should have to publish the facts and not make any opinions.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying, you know, in the case of you know Tommy Robinson.
No. He really was assuming they were guilty before they were proven. That's fair. Which is why he was found in contempt of court. And the guy had been given numerous warnings in the past, hadn't he? Like, it wasn't like the first time this had happened.
We're going to say it was on a suspended sentence because of it. In the case of, you know, if you commit this again, you'll be sentenced for that crime, and then this one that we have suspended over you. That's how a suspended sentence works.
Yeah, easiest way of establishing what a suspended sentence is: Orange's New Black pilot. That's about right, really, isn't it? None of you have seen Orange's New Black.
Oh, what?
None of you have seen Orange is the New Black, have you?
No.
Yeah, I think so. I got through like season 1. That was about it. Got a bit shit after that. But yeah, so Ryan, your mic's gone funny again, by the way.
Oh, bloody hell.
Is he swearing? I thought this was a good Christian channel.
Yeah.
It's a good Christian channel, Ryan.
There's no swearing on our Christian Discord server.
Fuck's sake, Ryan.
How could you do this?
Sorry, guys.
So my question to you guys is, where does Tommy Robinson fit? Does he go in the degenerate corner? Because he did break the law.
I mean, was there really a question to it?
Okay, fine. He's going next to France. Somewhere he really won't want to be.
Stick him in Calais.
No, we'll put him in
Calais, yeah?
we'll put him in English France, because then it's kind of like England. It's a beautiful town, by the way. Lots and lots of Frenchness. Anyway, back on topic. Kind of. Do you think, like, as a final point, there should be a media block, or do you think there should be a compromise? Essentially, I'm saying, are you siding with Ryan, or are you siding with me? And if you side with Ryan, I'm kicking you.
I think either you have to implement it.
What was that? Sorry, Adam?
But better. Realistically, it should be on a case basis, because for some cases it's really important, but for some cases it just seems
Yeah, like it's high.
ridiculous.
If it's already high profile, yeah, fair enough.
But it's the fact that you should treat every case equally, because technically finding the truth should be seen, like you shouldn't play favourites, and that essentially
you can say it's kind of like Jimmy. Sorry, I was saying it's kind of like Jimmy Savile versus Cliff Richard at that. Yeah.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's a good example of like the two extremes. But yeah, so Adam thinks case by case basis. I could see some logic behind that. I don't think people are going to really mind if someone sees like boy 15 burn school down. I think there's.
Yeah, I mean, I think currently there are already specific legislations against certain cases having certain details reported on. like you're not allowed to name victims of sexual assault or relatives of criminals.
I'm sorry, 1 minute. We had to make that a law.
Apparently, if you don't tell them explicitly they can't do something, people will just do it.
Oh my country, 'tis of thee. Disgusting fucking type. Jesus Christ. As if we had to make that a law. Like, is there no such thing in, like, media as civility?
Probably not.
Don't answer that question, actually.
You know, civility doesn't bring money.
Jesus. Right, so should we move on to a slightly happier topic before we move on to some really, like, funny / depressing topics? So, is it Marvel dropped the new Venom trailer? Have you guys seen this? Have you?
Sorry,
Parts of it.
I gave it a brief glance through while we were setting up.
I mean, it's worth noting that I didn't really give them very much time to set up. It was very much a case of, yo boys, get your acting gear because I'm off out tomorrow night and don't really have time to record. So I apologise for the lack of quality. Let's just throw the Venom poster trailer, the poster up. Are we going to see it? Like, not us, but are you going to see it? Is what I mean. From what you've seen of the trailer, that you know.
I'll admit, I'm not likely to go catch it in cinemas, but to be honest, that's because I barely watch anything in cinemas these days.
Same, really.
I mean, it'd be interesting to see because it looks like it's. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Is it a non-MCU product as well?
I don't know. Might be.
Because there isn't the usual trappings on it, which could be interesting to see them branch out a bit. Experiment with some stuff they haven't done with other films.
I think they've said they're not sure they're going to have this Venom meet up with this current Spider-Man. No, so it might. I think they'll go down a grey area.
Yeah, because from what I saw of the trailer, it seems like they're going for a much darker tone than they have for the MCU films. Should be interesting to see how well received that is.
Yeah, okay. So what, catch on Netflix is what you're saying? Oh, Christ. Like, seriously, can we, like, just tangent in a minute, right? Can we just talk about how stupidly expensive ticket prices are in the UK for, like, seeing movies? Like,
I'll be honest, I missed probably the most important word in that sentence, which was, what was the subject of that sentence again?
Ticket prices are like Odeon and View and
Oh god.
Okay,
yeah,
so
they can get quite bad.
For context, you can, if you want to like go to the movies, get some popcorn, a drink, and your ticket price, it costs more than a Blu-ray.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, there are ways to mitigate that. You know, I've got a what is it? I think a 2 for a 2 for 1 or some sort of thing on with like my tickets at the moment.
Meerkat.
Although the only time I've used it so far, I did accidentally book 1 extra ticket than we needed for the group.
See, right, that's where
completely nullified.
You see, that's where overheard Lincoln comes in. You just say, "Boys, got a free ticket, £5."
we didn't realise until we went there and got them that there wasn't actually 6 of us. It's like, you know, I'll let the group chat know. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna order this many. These seats, these all look alright. And I was like, yeah, that sounds right. Sounds right.
Okay, on a serious note.
Wait a second, there's only 5 of us.
When has a group chat ever been a good idea for organising plans?
Oh no! It's just like everybody in the chat confirmed that yeah, 6 is definitely the right number.
It's like I'm currently in a group chat for someone's birthday, and they're like, "Oh, we're getting this person a present. How much do I owe you?" The price has fluctuated from £6 to about £3.50 at this point, because no one really knows who's chipping in.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Wakey. When Shazam and Aquaman come out, do you wanna go see them?
Might do. Might be worth checking out. I don't think I've actually seen any of the DC stuff that's come out in the last few years.
Nor have I. I was going to go see Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Because
Wonder Woman was the only one I've heard good things about.
No, I mean, I saw the trailer and I was like, I kind of want to go see that because it looks badass as fuck.
I remember Wonder Woman was getting a load of talk online for having like legitimately good female armor.
Yeah, but it's not even just that. Like Gal Gadot can act.
Oh yeah, that too.
Like, I mean, I don't give a
Oh.
crap whether like the artwork and the costume design is like
Yeah.
sexist as all fuck. Provided my women can act in a movie, I don't care.
Yeah, it's
Like-
what some of the circles I follow tend to go quite a bit of like analysis on like designs of female armor in like
yeah, but
games and movies and stuff, and they were saying this is one of the few ones that have not done it shit.
Let's be honest, right? Go play
Yeah.
Mass Effect 2, play as like male Shepard, and tell me like the ass stare isn't real. You know what I mean? Like, you're constantly focused on like on his ass. Like I'm pretty sure it was a meme from like when it was released. Like it happens
Hey,
to
no,
men
we
too.
we could all do with some more empowered male designs going around.
Yeah, exactly. Like Captain America in what was it, Age of Ultron, ripping apart that log.
Yeah, man.
Sure.
You know,
Sure,
I'm
for
waiting until we get to see some male characters in some like Soul Calibur level costumes. If you know what I mean.
Oh.
Wakey, you trying to tell us something?
It's 2018. You know, when we're gonna get that equality.
I can show you some games that already meet that
You know.
quality.
I really don't want to.
When are we gonna start seeing both genders in costumes that are mostly straps?
Oh, Fallout.
I can give you some
Have you ever
examples.
played Saints Row?
I'm gonna say, yeah, there are already.
I'll concede to that one.
But essentially, my argument between like the whole, oh my god, females having like scantily clad clothing is like men also have to wear scantily clad clothing or be put in like hypersexualized environments.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think this is a non-issue. Like, oh my god, I'm about to get flamed in the comments by all the feminists, but
has anyone ever heard of He-Man before?
oh yeah, exactly. I think that was
I mean,
actually
to be
aimed at
fair,
men.
when it comes to like the female sexualization of like armor and that, the thing is, you know, until 5-10 years ago, your main target audience that people were designing games, superhero comics, etc. for was for teenage boys.
Yeah.
Hormonal teenage boys. And obviously, when that's your audience, what's going to sell you the best thing there?
But
it is the thing that, regardless of how valid it is, sex sells is still a good argument in the boardroom.
But can we just put like a note on that one? That is a terrible argument for business. Like, if you have a product that you're like, okay, there is no reason women can't like this. Let's take, I don't know, a first-person shooter of generic intent, right? There's no reason women can't enjoy that, right?
I'm not saying that.
There's nothing to say. No, I have a point with this. There's nothing to say that women can't enjoy sitting down with a controller or a keyboard and mouse like a true woman. Don't use controllers, women. No. Be a true woman. Only real women use keyboards and mouses. That's true, isn't it, boys?
Only a real gamer uses keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, exactly. So therefore, only a true woman uses the keyboard and mouse.
PC gaming master race.
Anyway, back to my original point. So there's no.
Then again,
there's no reason they can't enjoy like Call of Duty for argument's sake. It doesn't necessarily just appeal to men. The marketing appeals to men.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think at this point it's just such a long-standing thing in the industry. But
if that's the case, marketing is alienating half of the potential sales.
I mean, to be fair, the thing is, they're going, oh yeah, all this scanty armor, that's like all sexualized, and this will get us the teenage boys market. Have you ever seen like images of women in plate mail? Fucking hell, it's hot.
I've actually.
No joke.
Can someone grab me an image of like women in plate mail so I can stick it on the thingy, like
I don't know.
the show? Believe it or not, Ryan, I don't generally Google image search females in plate mail. Oh my lord! Right, so Ryan's got some really strange like fantasies.
No, legit though.
Doesn't it take like an hour and a half to like disarm her from plate mail? Jesus, Ryan. That doesn't add to time in the bedroom.
It also helps if you spell mail the correct way, but hey.
I just spelled mail incorrectly. Oh, never mind.
Yeah. I mean, I've got to say, I think my favourite female character design trope has to be, I think my favourite one always has to be those breastplates where they've got tits sculpted into them to the point where if someone like pushed too hard on your chest, it would cave your ribcage.
Right. So
I
according
mean,
to
even that picture there is kind of, it's, I think that's made on a game engine or something.
okay, so according to Ryan, this
that's
is historically accurate female plate.
No, that's not accurate.
It's the best you can get from 2 minutes of Google
Actually, wait,
search.
why don't I just do the easiest thing ever? Joan of Arc.
Because she was either a myth or a legend, didn't necessarily actually happen.
Still,
I think for the sake of getting an image of someone in armour, it's easier than just searching a generic term at this
Okay,
point.
so according to Ryan, this is sexy.
This is what the peak female body looks like.
To Ryan.
yeah, okay.
So if there are any any tall blonde women who happen to be wearing what I can only assume is silver armor, because steel does not
Yeah, man,
look
you
like
know,
that.
calling all tall blonde.
Yeah, no, I was
people
literally the very first thing.
You know, we're not kink shaming here, are we? Because we've got like a Tumblr associate, he might like yell at us.
Oh no, by all means, kink shame away.
Like, to be fair, I get. I'm not that.
Yeah. Jeff, Walmart,
I mean, I get what Ryan means. Like, she's not. Like, she looks attractive with the armor. Like, she looks stronger. She looks more like, yeah. There's no reason women can't wear that. Yeah, I'm not putting that in. I know how we joke around.
It's just a random image of Joan of Arc.
I know how we joke around saying this is a good Christian fucking channel, alright, but I'm not seeing actual Christian artwork in.
We're not going that far down the rabbit hole.
It's only gonna be Christian.
I don't know, does this do anything for you?
Can we just stop sharing pictures of women in plate armor, please?
If you don't want someone in armor, I can get someone riding a chariot.
Oh my god!
Is this what Ryan is? Alright, we're learning a lot about Ryan today.
If any of the moderators
Actually,
of this Discord server
on this
are
one.
watching, I apologise profusely for the text channel that is. Oh my lord.
I actually just randomly have a picture of Boudica on my computer for some reason.
His name's the Red
Yeah,
Celt.
randomly.
His name is the Red Celt, that is not randomly.
Yeah, man. Oh god.
No, to be fair though, wasn't Boudica supposed
Okay, so
to
I
be
just
like
typed in
conventionally
Boudica and now
attractive?
there's like a Ginny Elizabeth the First.
Like, according to like historical texts and stuff, wasn't Boudica supposed to be like conventionally attractive though?
I believe so, yeah.
Like, I don't know, but like, yeah, I get what Brian means. Like, she looks empowered, and that empoweredness is sexy. I think that's what he means.
I know it's just a random picture that I have for a reason.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, no, just like, I think I used it to make a meme once, just to annoy someone in another Discord server.
But you know, I get what feminists mean when they say like, women in scantily clad armor, they don't really want to see that in games, because to be quite honest, I don't. It kind of takes me out of the gaming experience.
Yeah, I was going to say, it breaks a lot of immersion.
I don't know if that's just me.
Yeah.
But like, I would much rather prefer to see like a medieval game where women wear like armor like that. Like, if you want to go for women in armor, like, I know it's not historically accurate to see women in armor, but if you want to have women in armor, don't have it like fucking skirt mail and some kind of like string bikini mail thing. Have it like that. I don't know, it's like, yeah, what the fuck's wrong with games these days? To be fair, they are getting better.
Yeah.
They're getting better, but like, I don't know. Like,
the mainstream industry is slowly eating itself, and they're just throwing things out that they think still work.
Part of me is like, free speech, yeah. But then like, the economic side of me is like, are you fucking retarded? That's half of the population you could sell to. Like, you could sell to the entire population, like male and female, without pissing off either side.
Yeah, I mean, hell, the sheer amount of like buzz they'd get just for not having shitty female designs would probably earn back any potential losses they get,
and I think,
or fear they'd get.
To be honest, I think the perfect example of this is Call of Duty World War II versus Battlefield 5, is it being called now?
I've got no idea.
So, Call of Duty doesn't profess to be realistic.
Hmm.
So you can get away with having females in the roster, and to be honest, when you're playing online, you don't really notice. So if having females in the roster makes females feel a little bit more, I don't know, like, what's the word? Immersed, I guess? Immersed.
People like to be able to relate to things.
Yeah, throw them in. Fuck it, why not? I'm not going to complain.
A good example would be Halo multiplayer.
What with... Oh, where they're just in armour, and you don't really get to see
Where
them.
you have your custom Spartan.
Okay, I've not really seen that very much.
Like, I mean, it's been since Halo Reach, which is,
Okay.
I think, which is where I got it. And, you know, you can choose male or female, and you really can't tell the difference, honestly.
I think you can choose from Halo 3.
Oh, it's a Halo 3 then. Yeah.
I think Halo 3 had the start of the armour system, but I don't know whether you can be male or female or not. But yeah, like, it won't offend me, personally, to have women in my game. For fuck's sake, games developers, start advertising to women a little bit more. Like, for Christ's sake, Marxists sell shitloads of games to women because it's The Sims, right? The Sims is genderless. It's amazing, right? I have not found a single person who dislikes The Sims. Look at how many copies of The Sims 2 and The Sims 3 were sold. Interesting, that, isn't it? How when you appeal to both genders, you sell more games. GTA 5 was another one sold well to like every gender because it doesn't really appeal to any gender. Feminists like joke and say, I'm assuming they're joking when they're like, "Oh my god, it's so sexist," and like, what's the patriarchal and whatnot. But will you stop sending pictures of women in armor into the Discord?
Well, I wanted to get the thing up of just. That's one of the main characters of Halo Reach as well. You can tell because she's missing an arm.
It's mildly distracting.
Sorry.
I can click on the link I sent.
Yeah,
please.
You're getting mildly distracted here, are you, by that picture?
Why, of course, yeah. An amputee Spartan soldier.
Let's not even get into that.
Yeah, let's not go to that one. Shall we instead get on to what Bin Laden's mother said in a press conference?
That's a swift segue by the whole.
That wasn't. To be honest, that is what they call in the music industry getting it all back to the start quickly. So have you guys actually read very much up on this?
No.
Okay, so to fill you and everybody
That
else...
was the first I heard that you mentioned it.
Oh, okay. I think the story broke like 3 or 4 hours ago, to be fair, so... So essentially, Bin Laden's mother has done a press conference for like the first time since her son died, with many, many bullets in him, and a shitload of water, and probably a load of fish food, and maybe a few like cuts just to make sure the sharks eat him, and etc, etc, etc. No one knows. But yeah, so she's in a press conference, and apparently he was a very normal like boy. I mean, like every mother says that, don't they? Like he was a lovely boy and whatnot. But like, it's interesting to think. So, according to her, the reason he was so like pro blow shit up was because he was radicalised in university. Now, we are 4 university students. Does this terrify you a little bit? If true.
I'm gonna say, I'd be straight away questioning how legitimate this whole thing is.
I don't think his mother isn't like in any way associated to any radical.
Is this even his actual mother? I want to know. Or is it just someone claiming to be?
Oh no, it actually is. Like as far as I'm aware, it has been verified to be his mother. Multiple news stories are like saying so. So like. But to be fair, like, would you really lie about that shit? But from what I'm gathering, it's like the news stories, like the news outlets have tracked her down, not the other way around.
I mean, I can definitely understand the concept of someone getting radicalised while at university, just from simply the distance from their previous environment. It can leave people very much open to being targeted to be radicalised.
Do you think that there's some things the universities could do, or do you think it falls even with the universities?
I mean, that is kind of...
Because it's kind of sad that, let's just assume she's true,
Yeah.
she's right, okay? You've got what was a perfectly normal 20-year-old going to university. I don't know what the hell he went to study, but like going to university to study, fuck it, drama. Going to study drama for argument's sake. And it's like, you know, he's loving life at this point, and then all of a sudden he just gets radicalized by a bunch of people who just like, the West hates you. You know, we are a scourge to them. Like, that's got to be the most soul-crushing experience for a person to go through. So, is there anything, I don't know, maybe the public, the people in general can do to... Because, like, this is...
I guess the problem is, like, the only thing I think universities could offer is just more support for people, but even though they offer plenty of it, the problem is people just not utilising it, you know?
Our
because
university
it's still a
offers plenty
voluntary
of support.
thing.
Not many universities offer the level of support Lincoln does.
But like, I feel like a lot of the problem is that like even then that support is still voluntary on the part of the person who's even having trouble. Like, if they don't go and try and get help, there's not really much the uni can do.
Do you think it lies with the university to look out for signs?
I feel like to a degree they do have to be like cautious about such things happening, but there's only so far they can go without risking, you know, privacy and free speech violations, which is always the issue with stuff like this.
Again, if you violate people's free speech and privacy enough, they're gonna just be radicalized by that instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only ever so far you can go to be sure of something.
Because the way I was reading this news story, I don't even know if this is how it's supposed to be. It's kind of just sad. Like, thousands of people were killed, like, because of his actions, yeah? Like, he was a lead contributor to 9/11. Many battles he commanded soldiers to fight in. Like, but apparently he was just a normal teenager. Is that how
I'm just reading an article on it at the moment.
It is for them to be changed, like for a person to be changed? Because let's just get this straight: radicalization is not religion affiliated. It can happen to anyone. No. You could be a radical backseat Friends supporter for all I know. I could be radicalizing you just by talking. And you'd be like, oh my god, they're the best show on the internet. I must defend them with my life.
I mean, you know.
Which to be honest, I reckon a lot of YouTubers get.
Yeah.
But
get big enough. Like...
What I'm saying is, it's not a religion-based thing. Certain aspects of certain religions do help towards radicalization, because you've kind of got an end goal, if that makes sense. But it's not something that is based
religions tend to make quite a nice scapegoat for stuff like this.
That's
like
what I mean,
they can try and pass themselves off as...
Because I feel that we're getting very much in the sense that we are so scared of seeing radicalized like Muslims that we're possibly ignoring radicalized non-Muslims as well. Like, do you think that's a thing that is happening? I don't know whether it's something I worry about. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a possibility that could happen. Like, it's because at the moment people think terrorists, people think radicalized, they just automatically tend to assume some Islamist extremists. Which,
speaking of which, by the way, a quick update on the Canada story last week. It was not ISIS. You were right, Wakey. They just claim things. They just go, well, he's mildly not white. Let's claim him. But no, it wasn't. From what the Canadian police are saying, it wasn't an ISIS attack. Apparently he had never even spoken with anyone.
I mean, that's just part of the whole thing. They want to see him like they're everywhere and that they're behind everything. They want to see him so powerful.
Yeah, but it's like the boy who cried wolf. Eventually, it's like, yeah, all right then. Sure it was.
The thing is with ISIS, though,
then they've lost the power.
Yeah, well, no. Well, the thing with ICE at the moment is like they've lost pretty much all of their territory now.
Mm.
To the point where Turkey's given up fighting ISIS and started fighting the YPG for Kurdistan.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, like the
Weren't Turkey like a
YPG,
massive
people that basically drove ISIS out of Syria, have now been attacked by Turkey.
But yeah, so like, what were we saying? What were we saying before? We talk about ISIS. Yeah, is ISIS like kind of self-destructive if that's the case? Like, if they're just claiming it's them. Eventually, everyone in the world is just gonna, yeah, alright then, mate, on your bike. And then they've got no appeal to anyone. People who were actually supporters of ISIS are gonna think,
Yeah.
well, they're a bit shit, aren't they, mate?
But don't forget, I do expect that most people that like try and, I guess, for lack of a better word, recruit for ISIS probably push that same sort of mentality that a lot of other like extreme aligned groups do. Of like, oh no, the media's lying to you. We're the only ones you can really trust. They're lying to you about this.
Our Rebel Media and
not...
Infowars.
I mean, you get it with pretty much any extreme group. Is they try and convince people they're the only ones that know what they're talking about, and everyone else is just lying.
Because there is a distinction between radicalization and violent radicalization. Violent radicalization is when they will go out and die for their cause. Radicalization is just someone who really, really fucking loves their cause. At least that's how I define. It's probably not actually legally defined like that, but who cares,
Yeah.
Because I think that should be a distinction people make. And I think radicalization will lead to a violent radical. There's a reason we call them radicals, though, right? It's a chemistry term. Radicals breed radicals. Yeah? I'm sure you'll all be aware of free radicals and shit. No?
I mean, probably no one to who you are.
For fuck's sake, it's too late. I'm not explaining this. I think I've got a video somewhere on this channel explaining that.
I'll be sure to check it out.
It's fine. I've got a video somewhere on this channel explaining the strong force. So I don't think free radicals are that far away. That far of a stretch. Yeah. But no, I do worry that we're gonna stop one radical group and create another because of it. I don't know, should I just not worry about terrorism as much as I do?
I mean, no, it is definitely a concern in this day and age. It's been a problem for a good few years now. Like more so than it used to be.
Because that was the thing. A few years
I mean, I feel
ago,
like at this point, people are just we're getting just accustomed to the idea, so we don't really, you know what I mean?
But that's dangerous.
I know it is,
just
but
as dangerous.
I feel like it's all sort of a desensitization to the sheer amount we've had over the last few years.
This is the world we live in, is it? So they're going to go out with a bang, a bigger bang, or a nuclear bang. Is that just it? Yay.
This is the way the world ends. This is the way the world ends, not with a bang, but with
a bigger bang. Or a nuclear bang.
Many consecutive bangs.
Definition.
24 hours of consecutive bangs, after which, bye-bye. Also, interesting, weird tangent, but also kind of a thing we should maybe be concerned about. Terrorism in space.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I mean, when we colonise, I've been reading Artemis quite a bit this week, so I've kind of got the moon colonies on my
Kyle, stop trying to drum up funding for the Space Force. It's not happening.
No, on a serious note, I am not sponsored by anywhere. Read that book.
Mars is non-colonizable. I don't care what Elon Musk says.
Mars is not colonizable. Trust me, it's not.
Yeah. Look, can we all just agree as a society to just give Mars to Elon Musk for a generation? Just leave it up there, and then when he dies, we'll actually do something with it?
This was not the point I was trying to make. My worry
I know
is,
it's not.
My
How
point
many of you know
was...
about Rods from God?
What was that?
How many of you guys know about Rods from God?
What was that? We've gone from Robson, what?
How many of you guys know about the idea of Rods from God?
Oh, is that where they just stick, satellites around the world and just have them shoot tungsten rods into the Earth.
Pretty much, it's the only weapon you need in space is a tungsten rod.
It's just magnetically shot down to Earth, and it's stronger than a
It
nuclear
doesn't
blast.
even if you just drop it, like literally just let gravity take it from a satellite.
Oh shit!
It'll do
Alright.
enough damage, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I think like a lot of space weapons. I know there's the UN treaty on not
Yeah,
putting.
the rod isn't a weapon of mass destruction.
Yeah.
A rod isn't biological, chemical, or nuclear.
But this would be neither.
Yeah.
But I thought there was like an extension to just general weapons in space, which is why I was so amazed a while.
Again, a rod isn't a weapon. A rod is just can be part of the rocket, can be
It
part of the
does,
satellite.
to be fair, it
Just designed to
genuinely
detach.
could have legitimate mining uses as well.
Hmm.
Like it's a large area of effect weapon that could just be used to blast away rock.
Yeah.
That's the only problem. Where weapons can be very easily used for tools.
I mean, I think in part you need to sort of define, in a way, defined by intent to some degree.
Okay. But do you guys not worry that we're eventually going to colonize Mars and just have like another bunch of like radical Earthers on Mars? Like, oh my god, how dare you come to Mars, you impure humans? You're not from Earth.
The humans, of course, there is going to be that.
Yeah, dude, like, come on. If people can find a reason to talk shit on someone, they're going to.
Why can't we just have nice things? I want nice things. I want a colony on the moon. I want a colony on Mars.
Trust me, we all want nice things, you know.
Anyway, should we move on to the next topic? Another lovely topic. The youngest act of terror planning? Is it conspiracy to commit terror? Yeah. The youngest conspiracy to commit terror has been committed in the UK by a lady, I think it was, whose name I'm not even going to begin to try and pronounce for two reasons. One, I don't really want to give her the public. Oh, hang on, I've just realised I've not put the Obama memes and the Osama memes and stuff. What? I'm totally prepared, boys. What are you talking about? I had some.
We are the most professional and prepared podcast ever. You know,
well,
we know what we're doing.
I had like a very, very nice. There we go. I've got the Obama, like 99 problems, but Bin Laden ain't one, and then I've got like the Osama from South Park, like being licked by a goat, I think it is, or by a camel or something. Yeah, by a camel. There we go. Stick.
Could you not tell the difference between a goat and a camel for a minute then?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really look at them very much.
I mean, you know.
I mean, there's some pretty distinctive features between a goat and a camel.
Look, man. He's a centrist. Okay, tell him the difference between two different things is his strong
It's
suit.
chemistry, not biology.
yeah, exactly. Anyway, back to the topics. Let's go down to the youngest person who, she. I do actually have a picture of her on, like, in the folder that we use for this. I don't really want to put in a picture up though. But yeah, so basically this girl plotted to destroy the government or some shit. Got found out because we have like a proper baller good ass police force in this country. Yeah, I think that's fair to say, don't you, boys? Ryan's falling asleep. Awesome. It's fine. This is the last topic, Ryan. This is the last topic. All right,
You can make it through this.
just power through it.
But did that come through the mic then? Just me casually yawning?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, right. Yeah, no, I've just been on this.
You've been exposed.
It doesn't help because there's not really all that much gossip to talk about this week, so we can't really tangent very much. Like, tangents this week have involved chatting shit about Ryan's sexual preferences and talking about women in games. Both of which were the same thing, really.
Yeah, it sort of overlaps.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, it was just Tom saying, oh yeah, he wants to see more men in straps, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Hey man, leave me out of this, you know.
But yeah, so...
I'm not the one getting off at the Ren Fair.
So she tried...
She
She plotted against the government or some shit. youngest like person ever to commit like to plot an act of terror. Like, wasn't she like 16? She must have been radicalized in high school. The fuck is going
I
on
think
with
from
this
the article
country?
she's currently 18.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Still, it takes like more than a year to plot.
Oh, yeah.
Unless like they caught her very quickly because she didn't turn name private on.
Oh, she forgot to turn her incognito tab on, and that's just got her.
Yeah, it's like there you go. This is rule number one. It's rule number one of plotting any terror activity. You always turn incognito on.
Yeah,
You know,
but then I close something that I don't want to close, and then I have to go through the hassle of getting it up the hard way.
So what you're saying is the reason she got caught is because she couldn't be asked to sign again into Amazon.
Oh god.
Yeah. I mean, it's like incognito.
She was only behind 6 proxies, not 7.
Oh
They got her.
shit. Oh, but yeah, the reason she got caught is because she didn't turn incognito on. I know incognito says we can still track your IP and like report you to your ISP. They're lying to you, boys. Incognito
Yeah, they're
is
just
clearly
saying
the way
that.
forward.
You know, incognito tab is definitely the most secure method of browsing.
I mean, we all know why incognito really exists, let's be fair.
It's not actually the reason
yeah.
you think. It was originally designed so people could buy presents stealthily, and the people behind it were actually appalled for what we used it for.
Well,
Okay,
no,
look.
so that was the official...
That's what they put in the press release. I believe that for a second.
They genuinely were appalled because they hadn't even considered the idea of using porn.
Yeah, I'm
Who the
sure
fuck came up with this?
So the idea was to buy like train tickets without putting cookies on the
Okay,
sites. And
that is a very good use of incognito tab.
and to buy like your partner a wedding or anniversary present without them knowing what it was. Like,
Yeah, again, that was what I was saying back when VLC updates Chrome. I was saying, get Chrome, we have this incognito mode.
But then,
oh, was it Chrome? Was it?
it was
when Edge came?
it was Microsoft Internet Explorer number 7, I think, that added it.
Yeah, oh yeah, and they were saying, oh yeah, we got this thing, and look, I can buy presents for my wife, and she won't know.
But that was the honestly,
Yeah.
that was the actual original reason. It really,
Given reason.
really wasn't supposed to be used for porn.
That is the most naive invention I think I've ever heard.
Oh no, the most naive invention was dynamite. Alfred Nobel was like, well shit, I kinda killed a bunch of people, better have a Nobel Peace Prize now.
That was the gang is.
But there you go. If you don't want to break her record, make sure you turn incognito on. It's a quick, simple solution, isn't it, boys?
What?
Quick, simple solution. If you don't want to break the record of the youngest conspiracy.
No, it's fine, man. We're safe. We're old enough, you know. We're not gonna break that record.
Yeah.
I think 0.1% of my audience is like 15 to 18 though, so they could easily break it.
Well, I mean,
Look at
if you do end up in that situation, give us a shout out.
I mean, admittedly, that is massively skewed by the Smart Water video, but that's not the point.
Oh, I thought that was like the elephant in the room, your Smart Water video. I didn't think we could talk about it.
Oh no,
Yeah,
we talk about it every episode. It's literally been
Yeah.
broke every episode.
Oh,
Just give us an excuse for more talk shit on your smart water
Exactly.
opinion.
It's fine. I will eventually parody it.
Yeah, on the topic of water, like, change my mind here, but non-flavored water is just shit. It tastes horrible.
How dare you? To be fair, I am genuinely really picky on the water I drink. Also, Ryan, your mic's gone again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, shit, hang on.
Yes, like I will only really drink Evian. I've been drinking like Harrogate. Is it Harrogate Springs or whatever?
Oh, Harrogate Star's awful.
It's nice. It's just right for me. Smart Water has now actually made it into the roster.
Oh my god.
I am a traitor to myself, but yes. In fact, I went for a walk with one of my friends the other day, She was like, wait, shit, is that smart water? I was like, yeah. Changed my mind on it, boys.
Oh,
Although, to be fair...
no, man, it's got to be that sparkling flavoured water for me. Like, you know, that kind of water that's so not water it barely counts.
You mean, what you mean, Coke?
Nah, man, I hate the taste of Coke.
Really?
Or Beppis.
You're not meant to drink. You're not meant to drink Coke. God.
Look, man, my liquid intake is just about above what will kill me.
You didn't get that joke then.
I did. It's an inappropriate response, really. I mean, you know, it's great for removing the rust off your insides, but
What actually causes the rust? You see what
Have you seen what happens when you put water on iron? Just imagine what that will do to your insides, man.
Look at what actually changes.
Wait, so are you thinking of like an iron-flavored cordial, Ryan? Is that what you're thinking?
No, man. Like, if I drink water, I'm gonna get if I drink normal water, I'm just gonna get rust on my insides. You know, that's what happens.
I'm gonna say water destroys iron. Imagine what it'd do to like something softer than iron, like
Just remember,
inside,
guys. If you want to get rid of rust, use Cillet Bang. Because hi, I'm Barry Scott, and I'm here to show you about.
That's right. That is the
Bang.
official line from Back to Friends. Just choke some Cillet Bang. DIY home remedies right here.
You know, I really want to make that the tagline of the episode, but I know for a fact I will just be flagged as shit by Google.
Yeah, I'm gonna say choke some Cillet Bang. That's gonna go down well.
Okay, so here is my professional opinion of being unemployed.
Unless
and
it's
shit.
Tommy Robinson and then Bang and the dirt is gone.
Dude,
Yeah, man.
Jesus
Wait, who else is in the degenerates corner at the
Oh
moment?
my god, can we not tell people to chug bleach?
We're not okay. Fine. People shouldn't chug bleach. Tommy Robinson can. People shouldn't.
Okay, this channel doesn't have any legal advisors yet, boys. Let's not tell people, anyone at all, to chug bleach.
But Bang and the dirt is gone.
My views do not represent the views of this channel or the other individuals present on it.
Wakey, that's the second time in a row you've said that.
Yeah. I feel like you're just getting on a shirt at this point.
Oh, fucking hell. If we ever have to monetize this channel, that's just going on a shirt.
No, just get sponsors from Vikings.
Honestly, just
damn
add it to the copy paste of whatever you put in the description now, just a little disclaimer that says
Believe it or
nothing
not,
I say.
I don't actually copy paste the description. I handwrite each one.
God. You saint. You are dying for your craft.
I actually am. Like Christ, I mean, I kind of have to be fair. Like, the only things I copy paste are like the image links, like the section for who is what. But like, I kind of restructure it every time around. Like, I mean, this is episode 3, so like, big sample size, boys. Haven't even got enough to take an average yet. We are currently recording the thing that would allow us to take an average.
We gotta have them averages, you know.
I mean, the
Right.
viewer retention is actually dog shite. We retain, what was it? I think we got 12 views on the first one, and then 4 in the second one. So we retain about 33% of the audience.
I mean, that number is hurt slightly by the fact there are 4 of us involved in the making of it.
So essentially, we're all so egomaniacal that we watch ourselves.
Actually, no, wait, no. We're definitely retaining at least 1 viewer because I haven't watched the second episode.
Oh shit! To be fair,
I forgot.
I think I know who that would be. So yeah, because I went to a party like last week and he's like, oh shit, I've realised I've just seen you get new videos and I've not had time to watch it, so it could have been him.
Yeah, so just looking at the second episode is 2 views so far.
Holy shit! It's got 4 apparently, but I'm guessing 2 of them are mine, so it's not counting for general populace.
I don't know. That's just what I'm getting here.
Who knows? Just forward it to all your group chats, dear viewers.
Basically, right. I mean, it goes out to my Twitter. I'm an actual sizable following on Twitter.
Just put it on Facebook.
Oh fuck that shit!
Oh yeah, put it on that Facebook.
I have like
Yeah,
so
just
many...
you know, you're following Tommy Robinson. Just DM it to him.
Yeah, see how he reacts to.
On a serious note,
if
this
you
is a guy who
ban,
has,
you know?
this is a guy who has tracked people down through their Facebook before, just to confront them face to face over a disagreement on the internet.
Okay, fair.
You really think I want to be doing that?
Yeah. Yeah, we should definitely hold off on sending our videos to members of prominent members of political organisations,
Exactly.
or at least until I pick a more discreet username.
My username is my brand. I kind of can't change it.
I'm sure you'll be able to commission some new artwork for it, mate.
Like this I mean, I didn't commission this, did I? Let's be honest.
I'm gonna say, I mean, my name's my brand, but I still changed my brand name.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, my brand came from me not being able to have cool fish on Roblox. And then
I don't think I need to explain how uninventive mine is to you guys.
then I split cool and
Wait,
fish,
I
cool
don't
and put
get
fish
your
in the middle.
name.
So there you go, guys. That's the origin story of
Go on.
Cofishol.
No,
Yeah.
It's
I thought it was something like C official or something.
No. So people, I've had so many different pronunciations. So people either say "cofish," which is wrong, "coffle," which is wrong. I've had "fish," which is very wrong. I've had "ishel." For some reason, people think the C is silent. I've never heard of a single silent C in the English language, but could be wrong. I am a bit dyslexic. Again, wrong. People don't think, oh, it's probably just cool fish split down the middle?
I mean, I originally read it as cold fish.
Yeah, I've had cold fish before. It's very wrong, Adam. So for those of you,
Oh yes, our good old friend Coldfish.
those who don't know, it's Cofishol.
Yeah, no, I got that's what I was meant to be said. I was just thinking I thought it was going to be like C official, spelled wrong.
Yeah, we just all assumed you didn't know how to spell official.
Ryan, seriously, right? Do you think I was that original? I needed.
You know,
I
point official is so original.
I think I saw an advert for Roblox 10 or 11 years ago, and was like, basically like when it first came out, I saw an advert for it, I was like, that looks pretty cool, it's like Lego. And then I was like, I need an account. Cool fish is taken. Because I was massively into fish at the time. Don't know if that's apparent.
Okay, Kyle, so you're really into your fish, were you?
Wow, so that's two sexual preferences exposed on this episode.
Oh yes. How did my last relationship
We're
fail?
mature
I was
21-year-olds, guys. Totally.
Yeah, guys, how did my last relationship fail? Fish. She didn't like fish. She was a vegetarian.
But wasn't it
You
just a bit
can't
fishy?
abide by it.
Oh Christ almighty. But yeah, basically unoriginal name. It was like, cool fish is taken. Let's split it down the middle. Stick fish in the middle. Boom. Cofishol. Right.
I mean,
Stop
I'm not
playing-
even creative enough to come up with like additional names for different accounts.
Stop. I mean, before it was Kyle Cross 02, I think.
Oh.
So essentially, I made the switch like 5 years ago. So everything that was Kyle Cross 02 became Cofishol. The only thing that wasn't was my Steam account, and that has always been Cofishol, I think. But yeah, if you want to find me on Steam, I've definitely got enough users, like enough space on my friends list for this.
You know, I think the most daunting thing about having a name as unoriginal as mine is I'm not the only person with this username, because there is at least one account I've had to make before where someone else has had this before me. And that just leaves me worried now. Like, what other accounts out there are going to be associated with me because the one other person who's used this username had an account there?
Wakey, do you think instead of putting my views do not represent this channel, we should just put Wakey, every Wakey views do not?
Yeah, man. I don't want to run the risk of just running into like Wakey24 on some other website that I haven't got an account on. Like that is worrying.
You don't have an account on Twitter, do you?
I do, but I barely fucking use the thing.
Is that Wakey24?
I don't know. There might be an underscore in that one.
Okay, so you
That
might
might be one of the ones where I wasn't able to get it first.
You might be safe. But yeah, no, ever since like that day from like Roblox, I was like, I'll use this name because it's alright, innit? It's not the worst name in the world.
Yeah.
It's a bit.
Yeah, you sort of just like you go with a name for an account when you're young, and that just becomes your name on everything because you gotta have a brand.
Well, I'm gonna say, I mean, did you guys see what my old name used to be for like the all internet things?
Go on.
No, I don't think I have.
It was like Radams97.
Oh my
God. Radam. Love it.
It was really dumb when I changed it like last year to the Red Celt.
So like, I mean, my usernames used to be Carcross02 because that was the name of my AOL account.
Ah.
Back when AIM was a thing. In fact, Adam, do us a favour. Just find out if AIM is still a thing. Like AIM Instant Messenger.
God, I keep forgetting how old you guys are.
Fucking hell! Stop.
Oh yeah,
AIM, man.
you're a young kid, aren't you?
Did you
Yeah,
did you
man.
actually not have an AOL? Like, did you not have to install AOL on a disc?
Not that I remember.
Fuck's sake.
To be fair, I just used the old MSN. As in, first generation MSN. That was fun.
I still have my
Did
AOL
it?
address too.
I probably also still have my MSN account, but I don't know any of the like login details.
Well, your MSN account is your Microsoft account, so.
Oh, is it? No, I mean like my old
yeah.
one. Like back when people used to do MSN like for school and whatnot. When you're in like year 7 trying to run MSN.
So,
You didn't do that,
I don't
did you?
have a super laptop, but
Did you guys
I'm
not
pretty
chat
sure
on
the
MSN?
MSN servers it down, so. The
Really?
MSN Messenger.
I feel like that's kind of a sad loss for this world, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm sure that Microsoft closed down the MSN Instant Messenger service.
What
Yeah, a while ago.
what do people use now for instant messaging?
in peace.
Facebook.
Facebook.
No, not for Microsoft. You use Skype because Skype is owned by Microsoft.
I mean, on a serious note, I'd rather contract cancer than use Skype. It would be easier to use. Like, for a useful purpose. Cancer would have a more useful purpose than Skype.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't touched Skype since I got Discord.
Same.
Yeah, well, same here.
I mean, it probably helps that all my group chats shifted over to Facebook.
Like, I think there
So I had no
there
reason to use it for a
There was
while.
once where I was like invited to do I went for a job interview and like, oh, if you can't make it, we'll do a Skype interview. I'm like, okay, if I've got to do a Skype interview, I will make it to the face-to-face interview. 'Cause I don't use Skype.
Yeah.
I mean, I still use TeamSpeak for like a couple things, but
Oh my
other than
god,
that,
you
just-
old fogey. You actually have a TeamSpeak.
Yeah, I have a TeamSpeak account.
Oh my god.
I used to be in the Mountain Blade Regiment.
So basically, what we're gathering here is Ryan is the biggest nerd out of us all.
Mountain Blade Napoleonic Regiment, mate.
Oh my god. Probably closely followed by one of the other two, and then me being last, because I feel like I'm very, very out of touch.
Hey,
It's
I
not
mean,
like
you're the
selection.
person. You're the person in the call doing an actual science as their degree.
You work with
Well,
computers.
hang on.
Okay,
Good,
look,
quiet.
no offense, but I am more of a STEM student than you are, and I really shouldn't count.
Yeah, but science. No, it's computer science.
I'm not even computer science. I'm fake computer science.
Yeah, you're
All
getting
the games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what's his face? Who were doing straight computer science, wasn't it?
on my laptop.
Like fucking network
Yeah.
development and shit. Yeah. You know who I mean. I'm not saying his name for like obvious legal reasons.
He who shall not be named.
That's a good name for him, actually. Yeah, that's very apt. But yeah, what were we saying? We got. Have we just tangented from terrorism to MSN?
Yeah, did you not realise?
Oh, for God's sake!
I mean, you were the one complaining about our lack of tangents.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Oh God. But yeah, that's a thing that happened, isn't it? So is AIM
Yeah, man.
is AIM still up?
No.
No. I used to like AIM. I used to like AOL, so like kids servers anyway, because like you got to play games and shit. So they had all like, you know, before Disney was a thing like online, they had like all the rights to Disney characters.
Oh, but did you ask for your parents' permission to play those games?
No, they got an email address.
Yeah, because I was on bloody dial-up. Like, do you know how expensive dial-up was? To put it in context, it's still 2p a minute.
Oof.
And you pay per minute, not per meg. So... I mean, admittedly, I think that your speed is so low that it doesn't register on most speed checkers, but still. You can actually still get dial-up.
Well, that's something I really wasn't expecting.
Yeah, no, you can. It's I think it's called free and open dial-up or something. So essentially, just plug everything as normal. You download dial-up from like their website. Again, I kind of see the irony there, but yeah. I think the idea is just like it's a proof of concept that you can still do it, and then you route through their servers and they pay the rates or something, and it's like massively cheaper. So like before, I think dial-up was like 4p a minute. Now it's 2, which over a couple of hours really makes quite a big difference.
Oh,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah, sorry, my laptop just died.
Oh, boyo. Yeah, if you want, did you guys ever use dial-up?
Oh, dial-up sick, mate.
What about you? You were too. You use dial-up.
I think I might have. Not in my household, but this is other people.
What about the youngest one of the group? Did you use dial-up?
I can't remember that far back, but I'm pretty sure no.
Oh my god. I remember.
Yeah, I remember dial-up.
I remember like playing. I remember my friend had broadband and was playing RuneScape like when that was the first thing. First was the thing.
Yeah, like if we did have dial-up over here, it was before I had access to a computer.
Making an account on RuneScape and then getting home and going, I want to play RuneScape, and my parents were like, you can have an hour on it. That's all we're letting you have.
Oh.
Because dial-up's expensive, y'all. Oh, yeah, then I think we got broadband quite soon after that, though. To be fair, because like internet's just kind of useful and became a bit cheaper. Now we're on that stupidly, that's fast fiber shit now.
Yeah.
That's not actually fiber optic.
Fiber optic.
You still, because it's not actually fiber optic. You still have to be cabled to the bloody door by copper. Unless you want to pay a grand to Virgin Media to have yourself fiber optic, like box on your house. Internet's dumb. Like, there's places in America where we've got like gigabit download speeds. Like, I'm sat on 25 mega best, and they have gigabit. As in, 1 gig upload, 1 gig download. We call that the South Korean speeds.
There's also areas of America that have next to no internet, so...
That's beside the point. But yeah, should we call this an episode? I mean, I was going to call it...
got my back connected after my laptop died.
Well, I'm sorry, I was going to call this a table, but I think we should probably call this an episode instead of a table. I think it's a bit more...
I think we should call it a trilogy.
You think you should call it what, sorry?
Trilogy.
Trilogy, yeah, I mean...
Well, that implies there's only 3, doesn't it? You know.
I mean, it's the first time this channel's ever got to a third episode, third installment.
This is going to go on to be a properly annual thing, right?
Oh my god. Okay, for those of you who don't know, because I feel like for the benefit of Wakey not seeming like a retard, we should probably explain the inside joke. So we have a... would you call him a friend or an acquaintance?
I mean, I'd call him a friend, you'd call him an annoyance.
We're going to be living with him next year, so...
That's a good point.
Yeah, I'd call him a friend, especially since he still has cards I've lent him, because paying for shipping is a pain in the arse.
Basically, we're talking about a guy who was so annoying to me, I left the group chat because I just couldn't be asked to deal with his shit. Sorry if this is the first time you're hearing about this. I know I kind of left without really explaining very much, and left it to Will to explain.
I was wondering what happened.
Yeah, I tried to add you back, and you're just like, nope.
I mean, it's not the first time something like that's happened to like group chat, but
Jesus Christ, I just can't be fucked with him, like honestly. But yeah, so he was dumb enough to think that annually meant consecutive, like as in like you do one thing.
I mean,
and the
it did
next thing
take
was
us a couple.
annual.
It did take us a couple of tournaments to realise that he wasn't doing it as an ironic joke. At least I think.
The thing is, I think I said this in the group chat before I left. I don't know when he's trolling.
I don't think he does.
Something about his delivery just completely blurs the line between irony and just blunt ignorance.
Like it could just be like a form of like fucking autism or some shit, but like I don't know when he's trolling, and that's kind of the problem.
Yeah. I mean, if I give him one thing, he's pretty good at saying ridiculous shit with a straight face. I just don't know the reason behind it half the time.
And obviously, everything he says.
But yeah, so
is
I think we should call this. I think we should call this a trilogy then, yeah, instead of an episode, because then I can just do like another season, right?
And then episode 5
Oh,
goes
yeah,
trilogy
man.
in 5 parts.
No, because I'm not going Douglas Adams on this shit.
Yeah, no, I'd say call it a trilogy, man. Come back. To
Oh,
another season.
if I am here for the next one, my audio quality is probably going to be shite because I don't think I can fit my headset in my suitcase.
It's fine. I'm moving
Wear
a
it.
bunch of my shit down.
Do what I usually do, but forgot to do coming down here. Just wear your headset in like your car.
It's fine.
Well, no, I'm flying
you
to
know,
Spain for a couple of weeks, so I don't think I can get away with
Oh.
wearing a headset the entire time.
My next one could be with like
No, I did
massive.
it when I went to Berlin.
I feel like I'd look a bit sus just having a headset with nothing plugged into it, just on.
No, you just have the wire going into your pocket,
Or you just own
and
it.
it's like it's
own
a
it.
style. It's like a fashion statement thing of wearing a headset or style or fashion.
Yeah, just get a red Sharpie and put a massive B on the headset.
I don't know. I mean, mine's skull cancer,
it
so
would,
they
it
kind of.
would be instantly
look
better than
decent.
Beats by Dre.
Yeah. I might actually consider doing that, to be honest.
Just own the
Then
fact that you're wearing
Yeah, just
crap.
new fashion statement, just wear a headset everywhere.
Just be the trendsetter.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we will be back next week for another episode of Backseat Friends, where we will be talking about next week's crazy, ridiculous looniness, which God only knows what it's going to be. This week was pretty dry, to be fair, wasn't it? Like there wasn't all that much that happened. Like Tommy Robinson got released on bail, and I was like, "Whoa, my God, this is the biggest news story of the week." Like,
Yeah, man,
so much so that news
Pride
outlets
of
are
Britain,
still talking about
Pride
it.
of Britain, the time team guy got let out of jail.
It's not the time team guy. He is Sir Tommy Robinson. God, get it right.
Don't be talking shit that time team, right?
Yeah, I mean, I
Also,
shouldn't really
he's
insult
not
time
the-
team guy
he's
with
not,
comparison.
He's not the time team guy. He's Baldrick from Blackadder.
Look, man, I think it's a generational thing.
No, it's not.
No, don't
Look at
don't forget about the chicken fucker, Tommy Robinson.
Hey, what?
What?
But did you not read that Self and News Network article?
No.
Oh my god, it was
Okay.
brilliant. Oh, I mean, I'm guessing you know about Southend News Network.
The what news network?
Southend News Network, the like satirical news site.
No, I actually don't. Believe it or not. I feel like I probably should though. But yeah, we will call this an episode, and we'll get back to you next week for the trilogy of 4.
Like all good trilogies.
And then it's a saga at 4, isn't it? It's a saga. But yeah, we'll be back next week. Until then, feel free to actually watch the first episode, because no one did.
Yeah.
And
And remember, guys, don't actually drink Cillet Bang. It's not good for you.
there we go. That's the tagline. Don't actually drink Cillet Bang. I'm making a note of it now. But until then, guys, bye-bye.
Toodles.
Toodle.